Hi, and welcome to today's video update. I'm doing something a little bit different today. Trying out a technique that one of the folks that I really admire on YouTube uses all the time in his videos, and so let's start with the resource this week, although that was something I used to do in my video updates every week and haven't been doing quite as often, if at all, since I started up again a couple weeks ago. But Mike Browne. Mike Browne is a British guy, a professional photographer who does a lot of training, a lot of photography training. Has prepared a lot of materials that he sells, but I really like Mike's style, and what he does is exactly what I'm doing right now. I've got my, instead of using my iPhone, I'm using my EM5 Mark II camera that has this swivel out LCD, so I can see myself and see that I'm in the frame, and if I go over here too far or that way too far. And this is what he does when he's filming himself. He oftentimes has somebody else filming him, but he does a lot of videos where he's the one that's taking care of the camera, so you have to run back and forth to the camera. So that's why I'm doing this. It's an experiment, and the reason I'm doing that is because this last week it's been a little busy because we're watching our 1.5-year-old grandson, and he requires a lot of attention. So I haven't done very much with my video work. Excuse me, but I went back and looked at the beginning of these video updates that I started back in, I guess it was in January of 2016, so a year ago. And it reminded me of why I started doing them. Part of it was to share what I was learning from other people on the web and share those resources. And the other was to share what I was learning myself just by making mistakes and actually sometimes having successes. I actually started that back when I really got back into video in, I think it was late October, November of 2015, and I started gathering equipment that I already had and reusing it, and then finding equipment that I wanted to buy. And I decided when I started the video updates that I would roll that into the video updates. I've kind of gotten away from that, although it's been still primarily why I do them, is to share with you what I'm learning. But I've also been talking about products, and I'm going to save the product. They're not reviews really, but the product, talk about product things that I'm using more for my photography and technology tools series. And this technique of using, putting a camera out in the yard or wherever I am and taking pictures, which is what I would be doing when I'm using this setup to produce videos for my learning photography series. So that's where that's why I am where I am right now. And so this is really kind of an ad lib kind of show today because I have not really prepared very much for it. I just wanted to try this, and I did want to share a couple things. I watched I think it's Video Maker. I'll put the name on the screen, but he recommended this swivel bracket, and it is, see if we can get that. It's really hard to see because I've left my overhead lights on. They're fluorescent lights, so they may flicker a little bit, but I wanted to do that, even though I had these other lights on, because I wanted to talk about that in a second. But this is a kind of a neat bracket that, well, that's not tight enough, I guess. Okay, you can put it at the top of your camera, and you can put a light on it, or you can put a microphone. What I got it for mainly was, over here's where I normally do my video updates, and I've got that hanging shelf, that I will put this on the other vertical PVC pipe and put a new light up. And that's the other thing I just got. I got a new, and this was also recommended by this gentleman. It's an LCD. It's a Yongnuo YN300 Air LED panel, and it's really quite bright. You can adjust the, see how bright that is. You can adjust the brightness, and so it should be getting brighter on the screen. And you can also adjust the color temperature. So I've got it set to 5500K right now, which is like flash or daylight. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. But this is going to go on the other side of that bracket to fill in my face when I'm doing those sit-down video updates, and for other things, for other times that I need that. it is really, you know, and I got this. This uses these. Everybody refers to them as. I'm not even sure now. Sony batteries. This is not a Sony. It's a knockoff, but it was one that was recommended, and it came in a 2-pack with a charger. So this will work in here, and it'll also work in my other light, which I'm using AAA's with right now, or AA's with right now. So those are 2 new things I got this week. And I also ordered, since I've got this set up over here, after I did several videos for photography and technology, I wanted to do some B-roll, some, you know, shooting my shoulder pod and my Joby grip type POV kit, and how they worked with my iPhone. So I had this set up to use for that. And in shooting the photography and technology tools series episodes, I'm in front of this white wall. With this I take this away, obviously. And I have this softbox over here. And I have a reflector lamp, 2 reflector lamps with these fluorescent bulbs. This is a soft white 225 watt 225 watt bulb, and it is to simulate a daylight situation, and it's what I have, and it's exactly what I have in these other lamps. And I just decided I need a little bit more, because as I watched the videos, they were a little bit. So this is what it looks like. It's this sort of a bulb. And the white wall was turning a little gray. So I just decided I need another light and another holder. And I got a holder that also will hold an umbrella, or an umbrella stick-like thing. That's what I have in here. And so I have 2 bulbs in this softbox, and I'll put this in my other Octabox reflector, or not reflector, but kind of a softbox apparatus, so I can put this on my other side and make sure that the background is nice and flooded and I'm lit up properly, because it wasn't, they're not quite as good as I would like them to be. So those 2 things. And other than that, I continue to learn how to use Luma Fusion. That's a great little app, and I suspect they'll be coming out with some tutorials rather soon. And I think that they will be doing an update pretty soon too. They promised several new features that they will be adding soon, and then over the next year they'll be adding even more. So that's another thing. I'm going to do a photography technology tools episode where I pack my bags, because I'm going to take everything out of the bags that I have to repack for a trip, because what I'm going to take on this next upcoming trip is going to be a little bit different than I normally do. And I thought people seem to be interested in how other people pack, what they take with them when they go on trips, and just bags in general. So a quick one, I hope. I'm not sure how long this has been, and I hope the sound was working. So I'll sign off now, and thank you again very much for checking in.